Toyota Avensis, regarded by many as a simple, boring vehicle, but I have to say the Toyota Avensis has turned out to be one of the best drives on the market. You may associate this car more with your geography teacher at school, or the chap who works in the bank in the high street, but don't be fooled by the modest usage of these vehicles. They are a very good car indeed, and a very good drive. What a lovely vehicle. As I say, if you can get past the maybe boring repute and aspects of this vehicle and look beyond that, and the only way you can do that is by driving one, then you will uncover a very good vehicle. Let's start, for example, with the interior. The instrument cluster here is one of the most easy to read whilst driving along out of any car on the market at the moment. There's only a handful of cars that come anywhere near this. No obstruction by the top of the steering wheel. More cars do than don't. Dashboard, pretty stylish, very easy to understand when you're driving down the road, which is what you want. Remember, you don't want to be taking your eyes off the road, and I'm sure you knew that already. Steering, couldn't be lighter. I could turn this with a finger. Obviously we're not dealing with a big engine vehicle here, but the engine ticks over nicely. It pulls the car. It's the right car for the right weight of the vehicle, and I've no problem shooting down the motorway in this. Although it only has 5 gears, I would like to see a 6th gear on this. The wing mirrors, they're nice and big. You got plenty of wing mirror on this car. Now, I raise that issue because a lot of cars have very narrow wing mirrors. The rear view vision, very good. You are partially obstructed by the headrest, but nowhere near as much on other vehicles. General interior of the car could be said to be a little bit on the boring side, but after all, this is a Toyota Avensis. What do we expect? But the drive, well, you know, I'm going around a corner now, and the steering is fine. The car moves fine. If I had to move this car in a hurry, swerve out of a lane on a motorway, I'd be very confident to do so, because even though it's not a sports car, it responds to rapid steering better than many other cars do. You know, if you do the simple rock test with your car, see how it performs, then you do get an idea what it's going to be like when you shoot this way or shoot that way to avoid an obstacle or an oncoming vehicle or pedestrian or whatever. This could do the job. You could swerve in this. I'm pretty confident you'd be able to keep the car under control. The car's shock absorbers and suspension system will not counter-effect the movements you're trying to make. It complements what you're trying to do with the car. Now, it's maybe a little bit bland, but looking around the car now, I can see everything's tidy, everything's nicely put together. It doesn't have that cheap, tacky feel which you get in a Ford, and even more so in a Kia, even though there's nothing wrong with Kia cars apart from their dashboard. It's very comfortable. The chairs are nothing special. It does feel a little bit like I'm sitting in, you know, a bit of a budget chair from IKEA or something, but this is a good car. Somebody who's looking to buy one of these vehicles knows roughly what to expect before they get in it. There's no hidden surprises from engine wise. It's exactly what it's going to be like. But if I have to say anything, this car is much tidier and better put together than I personally would have expected. It handles well, it corners well, and the brakes, even though they're not the best brakes on the road at the moment, they stop the car and you do have quite a lot of control over the vehicle. They're actually not that bad at all. This is not a car somebody's going to be thinking about buying to impress or travel huge distances with, but if you want a vehicle which is going to be reliable, drives well, then you can't go wrong with this, man. You know, this is not going to be an expensive car. It's an average car with an average ride quality, but the car is great value for money.